creating a really good record is hard, and there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But if you can nail these 3 fundamentals, which all really good engineers do, well, then you're going to set yourself up for success. Great mastering engineers do not shit on their clients' mixes. They work to support the mix, support the artist's vision, support what they're after. And that starts with understanding their clients. Okay, this is the first thing which 50% of mastering engineers just absolutely get thrown in the can for, is they don't understand what their clients are after because they never give their clients the opportunity to share any information with them. Okay, there's like a communication blockade. That's just stupid. It's sort of like, here, hand over the mix to me. I'm going to do my thing, send it back. What you get is what you want. Not really, okay? So I learned this one off Will Borza. He asks a couple questions, and I've sort of adapted this as well. And he asks the clients, what do you like about the mix? What don't you like about the mix, and why? Simple. Okay, just asking those 3 questions when somebody sends you a mix for mastering helps you understand what they like, what they don't like, their reasons for it, and make sense of what is happening in their mix. Because contextually what happens is we get sent mixes every day. Some are really good, some are odd. I'm not going to say bad, I'm just going to say different. And they're different for different reasons. Sometimes they're different for very intentional reasons. Sometimes they're mixes that are a little bit quirky because they're meant to be quirky. Other times they're a little bit quirky because they're not meant to be quirky, and somebody's trying to achieve a certain sound, they're not achieving it. And through that communication, it provides an opportunity for me to guide them, for me to help them as a mastering engineer. So this is just a common theme around mastering engineers that I see that are really good at their job. They don't shit on their clients' mixes. They first try to understand them, okay? Not just the mix, understand the client, understand their needs, understand their wants. And like I said, 50% of mastering engineers, at least that I hear, that get sort of slagged off by their clients themselves, mastering engineers who don't give that opportunity to their clients. They're just sort of like, send me the mix, send me the money. They send it back. That's what you're getting because I did it. And that's sort of it. And it's sort of like a really shit experience for everybody involved, because the clients are like, oh, does this sound right? Is this how it should sound? I actually got a call the other week from somebody who was like, I'm not sure if I like this master. Did I do something wrong as the engineer, as the mixing engineer, because the master doesn't sound how I want it? And it's like, well, what's the comms? What's the comms up front? It shouldn't be a conversation that's ever being had with another mastering engineer, because the mastering engineer in charge should have had the conversation, should have set up the expectations, should have taken the time to understand the mix up front, not after something's been delivered and you've left a nasty taste in someone's mouth. And me saying this, I don't mean to put myself on a pedestal here. I'm not putting myself on a pedestal by any means, because I can guarantee for every 100 mixes or masters I've returned to clients, there's probably been 2, 3, 4 where they haven't been happy, or they've been, this isn't quite to my taste. And that happens to everybody, but it's about mitigating it so there's a more net positive of good experiences and successful records that you put together as a mastering engineer, rather than just sort of shooting in the wind and hoping for the best. So first thing, great mastering engineers all understand their clients' mixes. I'm not saying I'm a great mastering engineer. I'm saying the ones that I've engaged with, the ones that I've learned from, the ones that I've spoken with, all seek to understand their clients' mixes. The next thing is to offer constructive feedback, okay? Just stopping at understanding the mix is, you're doing more than most people are, just by asking a few questions, but you're even doing more, okay? The mastering engineers I know do more by just sending a few notes. A few notes is all it takes, okay? Just to get it perfectly on the money before it jumps into mastering. A little note here on the kick drum, a little note here on the bass, or where the vocal's sitting, or where some sibilance is. We know it as mastering engineers. If those changes were made, how much easier and better our job would be to produce something great for them if those changes were made in the mix. So instead of trying to compromise our process, aim to send those notes. Just it can be like, hey, if you got the time, we've got the session Wednesday, we can even push it back if you like, that's cool, it's up to you, but you might want to explore de-essing the sibilance in the verse around 8 kilohertz. It's really loud. and they might do it. And then you end up with a better mix, which means you end up with a better master. That's number 2, QC. Okay, QC is something I'm very vigilant on. Actually, nothing goes in my calendar until it's QC'd. Until I've heard it, I haven't actually physically put a date on my calendar. Even though I have a booking form on my website, and it's like 3 to 5 days turnaround, I'm listening to it and I'm pushing it out until I've listened to it, made sure I'm 100%, and then it goes on my calendar. I never deliver late, but I'm just trying to say I'm not pushing to just quickly get it in my calendar, master, and send it back. I'm going, no, listening session first, send notes back if I need to, and then I'll get it on my calendar to service. Okay, QC, that's number 2. The third and last one is, I don't think it's just good mastering engineers. I think good engineers in general leave their ego at the door. Okay? Problem is with that, engineers are notorious for having a big ego, yours truly included, where your ego gets in the way of achieving the result your client's after. Okay? Let me just build on this a bit. The person who knows the record the best is the client themselves. They know what they want to put out to the world. Sometimes they're going to make requests which challenge you. And just because they challenge you doesn't mean that you should be offended or put your back up against a wall. Every time there's a feedback or a request to make a change or a suggestion for an improvement on your masters, that is a learning opportunity. Okay, it's a learning opportunity to understand how to make that record better. Now, I haven't experienced this much with mastering engineers. Sometimes they get a little bit iffy, but with mixing engineers I know who are really at the top of their game, they take on every bit of feedback, any notes, any requests in their stride. They do such a good job. To sometimes a fault to their own, but it's really awesome to see some really high billing mixing engineers be a part of the team to make a record go across the line. And in mastering, it's the same. If you're willing to take on feedback, if you're willing to take on requests or notes, or really push the limit of what you feel comfortable with in order to achieve what your clients are after, that's a win-win. I just wanted to put that out there because creating a really good record is hard. And there's no one-size-fits-all answer. But if you can nail these 3 fundamentals, which all really good engineers do, well, then you're going to set yourself up for success. So with that, I'll leave you to it. And until next time, take care.